Run.
Hold on!
Throughout this project, we have used various hardware and software to produce our final products. The majority of our research was done with the use of YouTube, as we watched countless teaser trailers, noting down aspects that we liked and could possibly replicate. We also use YouTube when editing our teaser trailer, magazine and poster, as the website has infinite tutorials for Final Cut Pro, Photoshop, the software we use for the construction stages. We use various hardware to film, edit and voice record for this project. We used 2 cameras, which allowed us to film the same thing from different angles, helping us to construct match on action when editing. The main camera we used was a Nikon DSLR. This camera allowed us to have a high quality of 1080p and execute our shots well. The DSLR also had a manual focus. This was very useful when filming pull focuses and had changeable lenses. For our teaser trailer, we used 2 different lenses to allow us to capture detailed shots. The first lens we used was a 55mm lens, which we used for our establishing shots. And the second lens we used was a 55 to 200mm lens, which was very good for close-ups, especially from a far distance. The other camera that we had was a Nikon D500 that we used when filming in certain locations, such as the car park. This is because it adjusted to the darker lighting better. We used 2 cameras after finding it difficult to film with only one on the first day of filming. Using 2 cameras allowed us to film lots of footage in one go, saving us time from having to go back and refilm. We also used a tripod, which gave us a steady camera quality and let us capture clips from high and low angles, as well as capturing Dutch angle shots to foreshadow mystery and unease. To emphasise the dialogue in our project and to tone down the ambient sounds, we placed iPhones into our actors and actresses' breast pockets, with the voice recorder on so we didn't have to dub them later on if their speech wasn't recognisable. Doing this was very effective as the speech came out very clear, allowing us to put effects on it. We used Photoshop to create our magazine cover and poster. We used many filters and effects to add a sense of professionalism to both. A key tool in the construction of these was the burn tool. It is a quick and easy tool when darkening certain areas on the poster and magazine. We also layered many primary images and text to fill the poster and magazine without making them too overcrowded. The blur tool was key, as it allowed us to exaggerate the parts of our poster and magazine that we wanted to stand out. We used consistent fonts throughout our poster, magazine and teaser trailer, and reflected the mood from our trailer by replicating the colours in our magazine and poster. We emphasised the blue and cold tone as they represent our narrative and follow conventions of our chosen genres. Final Cut Pro was a vital piece of software that we utilised for our film trailer and evaluation. We improved our Final Cut Pro skills and editing skills throughout the project by playing around with different effects, filters and features, developing our existing knowledge of the program. We layered footage and used a split screen to create ghost-like effects to imply our narrative. Before filming this, we tried these techniques in the green room to see what techniques would work best. We used various filters to make our teaser trailer more professional. We added an orange and teal filter originally, but then adjusted the intensity of it. We also changed the colours on the colour board to give our film a blue tint, to convey the dismal atmosphere throughout. While researching how to make our trailer more movie-like on YouTube, many tutorials mention the Letterbox Effect, which makes films look more professional. We used this and instantly saw the difference. We also altered the sound of many clips in our teaser trailer to emphasise speech at different stages. To begin with, we put a voicemail effect onto Yasmin's voice message.
Hey, I showed her the files, I'm sorry.
We also emphasise certain words such as run and cases
Evidence missing from these cases.
to imply the link between Yasmin's conversation with Raven Pearson and her death. We decided to use Final Cut Pro to edit our evaluation, as we believed our skills had vastly improved and it's a software that we're familiar with. We wanted to meet the creative aspect of the evaluation brief by conveying the narrative of our teaser trailer, and therefore we used some of the same effects, colours and fonts as we did in our teaser trailer. We used the green room for parts of our evaluation, and as we hadn't used this in our teaser trailer, this was something new. We learnt about keying on Final Cut Pro using a YouTube tutorial, helping us to ensure the end result was correct. We also filmed short clips to add humour to our evaluation and link it to our teaser trailer. We used the same cameras and tripods for the small parts we needed to film, as well as Android and Apple phones to record our voiceovers.
Our film fits into the drama and action genres with the supernatural as a subgenre. We use codes and conventions from each genre to create this mass hybrid. From our research, we discovered stereotypical conventions from these genres. From the action genre, our research showed conventions include deaths, murders, villains, and heroes. Conventions from the drama genre include mysteries, lies, and plot twists, and the supernatural subgenre added a sense of the paranormal to our production. Ghost, 1990, was our main inspiration for our production, as it had a similar narrative to our original idea. However, we challenged several conventions presented in this film. For instance, the protagonist and antagonist in Ghost are male. However, in our teaser trailer, our protagonist and antagonist are female. We used 2 female characters for these roles, as we wanted to subvert the norm of leading female characters being damsels in distress in these genres. However, we also conform to certain norms, as our major supporting character is female, and follows the stereotypical character of a damsel in distress who needs protection. Our lead character, Yasmin, goes through a character arc in which she changes from vulnerable and innocent, conforming to the gender stereotype, to a strong-minded and powerful heroine. In our teaser trailer, our antagonist is only shown briefly to create mystery, tension, and suspense, to make people question, who is Raven Pearson? Despite her appearance only being brief, it is evident she is a mysterious woman. Another way we conform to stereotypes is by the use of hitmen. Hitmen can be found in action films, such as Pulp Fiction, The Godfather, whereby they do the dirty work of someone in power, which is what we conveyed in our trailer. The scene we particularly liked from Ghost was Patrick Swayze's character's death, and we recreated this scene using a split screen when our lead character dies. Costume played a vital role in the portrayal of our characters. We dressed Yasmin in blue and white, as these colours connote innocence and loyalty, but also sadness and coldness. These colours are also symbolic of heaven and ghosts, allowing us to foreshadow her death. The supporting character, Emma, aka
Hey,
was also dressed in blue to represent her and Yasmin's close relationship. The hitmen were dressed smartly in suits to portray that they are professionals that work for a prestigious person. We followed the stereotypical costume for hitmen that are seen in action films such as Transporter. Location was also key in our trailer, as it helped depict the eerie atmosphere we attempted to create. This atmosphere is stereotypically found in films of the supernatural genre to make the audience feel on edge. We thought to use a car park as we believe this was a creative location that was both dark and mysterious, and so appropriate for the murderous scenes we wanted to film. The location was similar to the one of the murder scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, as it's very dark, eerie, and cold. Additionally, we used a glass office to suggest that the law firm of which Yasmin worked for was prestigious and well known. The office looked very professional, and as well as this, there were vertical lines across the glass, mimicking a Venetian blind effect, typical of the film noir genre when presenting an antagonist. In our trailer, we modernized this to connote the mystery of who Raven Pearson is, as well as suggesting a sinister feel to her character. The church used symbolized death, and we wanted to portray Emma's character connected to Yasmin, as she was recently deceased. Cinematography played a large role in our teaser trailer. We used various camera angles to convey genre and narrative. High-angle shots were used to show Yasmin as powerless, low-angle shots to convey Yasmin with power, and we did this to present Yasmin's power shift and defy conventions. We used close-ups to create tension and excitement. We also used an extreme close-up to hint at the identity of Raven Pearson. Her eyes show her sudden interest when Yasmin confronts her about tampered cases, and the audience can infer that she is watching Yasmin even when her back is against her, hence the connection between her and Yasmin's death. Long shots and pull focuses were used to create tension in the build-up to Yasmin's murder and the mystery of Yasmin's new form. Sound was very important to tie the whole trailer together and to create an overall mood and tone for the trailer. We used a soundtrack that was low, eerie and quite dismal to portray the gritty realism of our film. We overlaid this with various sound effects to emphasize certain events such as ticking, to create the sense that time is running out, and the tires screeching as an unpleasant sound to echo the killer's cold attitude and quick getaway. Overall, for the duration of this project, we both conformed and subverted to the codes and conventions of our chosen genres, whilst developing some to add our own personal touch.